Hampshire. I did one for Aiden, I did one for Jamie. This is the one I wrote for Skye. She's 14 and is just precious. And she's so much like me in so many ways. In that she loves to write songs. She's very musical, and she's got a really soft heart, and that kind of cuts both ways, you know. I don't know how many of you women remember what it was like to be 13 or 12 or 14 years old. It's not always the easiest time to be a little girl, you know. And her emotions are just like, sometimes she'll be like, why am I crying, or why am I sad? I don't understand. I've been telling her, like, no, this is a good thing. It's like your emotions are like this beautiful wild horse, and you're just learning how to ride it right now, you know. And so she's just kind of like spent quite a bit of time the last couple of years struggling with that stuff. And she's another way that she's like me is that I struggle with self-loathing. I can be so mad at myself. I can be more angry at Andrew than I can be at anybody else in the world. And you know, there's some mornings when I wake up and I look in the mirror and I'll be brushing my teeth, and one of the first thoughts in my head is, man, I just don't like that guy very much. And you know, my imagination is pretty potent. It's how I make my living, and so it's kind of like it's a muscle that I've exercised a lot over the years. But the problem is, my imagination is also where the voices live that just tell me these explicit lies about who I am. And so anyway, it's happened for years. And I was talking to one of my best friends about it, and I said, you know, he said to me, Andrew, you know, self-loathing is just another form of self-worship. And so that was the day that I decided to not be his friend anymore. And so, just kidding. I felt it was very true, right? It was painful, but I felt the truth in what he said. It was, you know, that if you spend all of your time thinking about all the things you don't like about yourself, then you're still spending all your time thinking about yourself, right? C.S. Lewis said something about like how, you know, the truly humble person won't think of himself as humble. The truly humble person won't think about himself at all. And so, anyway, I learning that lesson, and one night I saw my little girl was struggling with this, and she was descending into this self-hatred, this narrative that I see from a mile away because I know it. And I was praying with her. I was kneeling at her bedside. I had her hand, holding her in one hand, and the other hand was on her forehead, and I was praying with her. And as I prayed with her, I remember seeing, like, it worked, you know. I was like telling her every good thing I could think as a father to tell his little girl, like, I love you, you are so precious to me. And she began to believe me, and I began to think, like, how good I was at this. And so I was just like, man, I don't know where I get this stuff. It's just so wise, you know. And is Jamie recording this by chance? Because I could write a whole album of songs about the things that I'm saying. And so Skye finally went to sleep as these like golden pearls were floating out of my mouth and sinking into her heart. And she finally slept. And I got up and I kind of tiptoed out of her room, and Jamie was standing right outside the door. And I said, did you hear that? And she goes, yeah, I was listening. I said, I'm just so wise. I don't, like, where do I get these things? It's just, I'm so thankful the Lord gives me these messages of peace and wisdom. And Jamie goes, well, everything that you told her was what I was telling you last night when you were crying. It's true. And so that night I wrote this for Skye, just trying to imagine what would my father's heart most want her to know. And the next morning I played it for her, and I felt like, as I kind of cried my way through the song, it was like God said, Andrew, pay attention.